how the compounding effect works, and how to make the most of it. Have you ever wondered why some millionaires have so much money but don't seem to work for it? Do you ever worry that you won't be able to save enough money for your child's college or your own retirement? Do you want to get out of the rat race and stop working a 9-to-5 job? Do you want to be financially independent in your 40s? In today's video, I'll show you a secret formula and strategy that the rich have used and passed down from generation to generation. It's funny that most people don't even know about it, even though it's so simple. But first, I want to tell you an old story about a king and one of his people. Once upon a time, there was a very powerful king who ruled over a huge area. His kingdom was so big that some people said it went as far as the eye could see, and that it took men on horses months to get from one end to the other. His money and wealth didn't seem to end. This king liked to play games, and when he had tried all of the games that were available at the time, he told his people to come up with a game that would impress him. After a few weeks, a man went to the king's palace and asked for the king to be there so he could show him a new game. It was called chess, and it was a game of strategy. The new game was so exciting that the king told the man, "Name your reward." After a moment of thought, the man replied, "O Emperor, my wishes are simple. This is all I want. If you put 1 grain of rice in the first square of the chessboard and 2 grains in each of the other squares, I'll be happy." At first, the king didn't want to give the man what he asked for because he wanted to give him a much bigger reward for his invention, maybe in the form of gold. But in the end, he gave the man what he asked for. On the king's order, his treasurer started figuring out how much rice should be given to the inventor. The treasurer put 1 grain of rice on the first square, 2 grains on the second, 4 grains on the third, etc. When he got to the 10th square, he had to put 512 grains of rice there. On the 21st square, there were 524,288 grains of rice. Halfway through the chessboard, the number was about 2.15 billion, or 2,147,483,648. When the treasurer got to the last square on the chessboard, he saw that the king owed the inventor about 9.2 billion grains of rice. The number was so big that the king had to leave his throne and give it to this wise man in order to keep his promise. This story shows how powerful compounding can be. It's also called the 8th wonder of the world sometimes. Don't ever forget how powerful compounding can be. Rich people know how powerful compounding can be, which is why you rarely see them wasting their time working a 9-to-5 job. Instead, they will use the power of compounding to put their money to work for them. Let me tell you how the rich make their money work for them if you haven't already figured it out. It's easy. They put their money into investments that grow in value over time. To show this, let's use Jack as an example. Jack is a man who is 25 years old and has $1,000 saved up. He can probably get a return on his investments of somewhere between 8% and 14% per year. The average return on the MSCI World Index is 8.7% per year. So let's say he invests his $1,000 savings in this index fund. This is what will happen to his $1,000 over time. When Jack is 65 and ready to retire, his $1,000 will have grown to $21,725 because of compound interest. Even though Jack only made one investment of $1,000, that is a huge amount. It's a return of more than 2,000%, or in other words, his investment has grown by 20 times what it was. Some of you are probably thinking to yourselves right now that $21,000 is a good return, which it is. But even though $21,725 is a good amount of money to have at age 65, especially if you only put away $1,000, that money won't last long and will soon run out. It might let him take 1 or 2 nice vacations, but it doesn't give him enough money to quit his 9-to-5 job. So the question is, how can Jack or you use the magic of compounding to become a millionaire? Now, let's look at the case of Jill, who has a bachelor's degree in finance from a well-known business school. She now knows how to use the power of compounding to help her reach her goals and dreams. After she finishes school, she gets a job that pays $4,000 a month. She saves $1,000 a month and invests it in the same index fund that Jack did. This gives her an 8.7% return on her money every year. She is 22 years old right now, and she plans to invest every month until she is 65 years old and can retire. Still not sure if she will get $1 million. Let's see how her investment turns out if the rate of return is 8.7% per year. If she sticks to her plan to put $1,000 into an index fund every month, she will be a millionaire by the time she is 47. Yes, you did hear that right. If she invests $1,000 a month, she will be a millionaire in 25 years if she does nothing else. She has been investing since she first began. If she keeps investing $1,000 every year for the next 18 years, she will have another $4.68 million by the time she is 65 and can retire. So at age 65, Jill's investments would be worth $5.68 million, which is a huge amount. Which, if you ask me, it is more than enough money to live a happy retirement. So in the end, if you are under 25 years old, you have one of the biggest advantages when it comes to using the compounding effect to its full potential: time. Time will be your best friend in the fight for financial freedom, not just for you, but also for your children and grandchildren. Someone has to get things going, and your children and grandchildren will respect you for being that person. Start saving regularly when you are young, and your investments will have the time they need to really pay off. Let me give you an example of 3 investors who each saved the same amount of money over a 10-year period, but started investing at different times in their lives. So, from the time he turned 25 until he turned 35, Michael saved $1,000 every month. At this age, he stopped making any more investments and let his savings grow at a 7% rate until he was 65 years old. Jennifer didn't start putting money away until she was 35. She saved the same $1,000 every month until she was 45 years old. Then, she left the money in her account to grow at a 7% rate until she turned 65. Sam didn't start investing until he was 45 years old. He started investing $1,000 until he turned 55. After that, he left the balance to grow at a rate of 7% per year until he turned 65. Over the 10 years, all 3 were able to save the same amount of money, $120,000, and earn the same rate of return, 7%. But when they turned 65, the total value of their investments was very different. Michael had a huge net worth of $1,444,969, while Jennifer had a net worth of only $734,549. Sam was way behind, with only $373,407 in his account. So what can we learn from the way Michael did things? Time is the most important thing a young investor has on his or her side because of the power of compounding. Start investing early by putting a small amount of your income into a savings account or whatever other way you've chosen to invest. If you keep doing this for at least 10 years, you will realize that you might not even need to save money after 10 years. When you're 35, most of your friends will be struggling to make ends meet, but you'll be doing well and getting a good return on your investments. Thanks so much to everyone who watched. If you thought this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to sign up for more. Having said that, I'll see you in the next one.